Hey Gretchen, I was meaning to make you this video for a long time, but remember the relevance calculator tool that I let you download? I just want to show you how to use it really quick. It's basically for optimizing keywords to make sure there's the right amount of keywords inside of the article. So basically this one is for Seattle criminal defense attorney and Seattle criminal defense lawyer. So basically what I would do, I would just copy and paste, not the keywords here because that's for the client's reference, but just copy and paste the total words right there. And then I would go into the relevance calculator. And then once I go into the relevance calculator, I would just type the keyword in here, the keyword that I want to use to rank for criminal defense attorney, right? So then basically what I'll do, what we're looking for here is the phrase density and the aggregate density. So when the phrase density turns blue, that means the phrase is not shown at any time, and the aggregate density is basically how many times the variation of Seattle criminal defense not appears as a keyword but just appears in the whole overall in the article. So basically what we have to do is get two smiley faces, and this one, and the way that you learn how to get two smiley faces is right here. The phrase density has to be anywhere from 1.83 to 2.83, and then the aggregate density has to be from 6.96 to 946. So we want to get two smiley faces here. So what will happen is we'll go back into the article. We could either do it here. Usually I do it here and then copy and paste it, but I'll show you. Seattle, as your Seattle criminal defense attorney, I would change this to defense attorney, and then I'll just change it up. So it's kind of a learning curve, and then I'll press the E to recalculate it. And once I press the E to recalculate, let's see what happens. It's only 90% of the phrase. So what our goal is to get that smiley face there. So we have to look for other places where we can add more of that phrase in. So our Seattle criminal defense, and then instead of saying our Seattle criminal defense attorney, I could say something like a Seattle criminal defense attorney. I have to change it up a little bit. Just one moment, and then I'll just refresh it again to see like if I'm hitting the density yet. No, so I'm just going to keep going and add in words. Sometimes I just add in the words to see how many times I need it, and then go back to the main content area and then just go add them in. And when you're working with like different keywords, I hate when clients have like 2 or 3 keywords because it doesn't make sense. This keyword will show, but then when you put in another keyword like Seattle criminal defense lawyer is also what we need to rank for too. So we have to go back and forth. But you see how I added Seattle criminal defense attorney about 3 times, and I got the smiley face. It was 2.65% density, and then I got the aggregate density, which is 7.28. So that's what they want to see, as long as it has 2 smiley faces, and basically that's it. So another word I want to rank for is Seattle criminal defense lawyer. Let's see how many times it comes in. The aggregate density is fine, but then I have no variation of the word and the phrase density. So what I'll do, usually if it says 1.82, you can gauge, and you probably need Seattle criminal defense lawyer in your copy about 1 or 2 times, and let's see if that works. I usually do this and then go back into the main piece and then add in the keywords because it's just easier for me to do it that way. Seattle criminal defense lawyer, it's 174, so you probably are going to have to put in another Seattle criminal defense lawyer to get the 2 smiley faces and see what happens. And then, yep, we have the 2 smiley faces. But just because we have the 2 smiley faces here, we want to go back, since we added Seattle criminal defense lawyer again, we want to go back to Seattle criminal defense attorney to make sure that it's not overbearing, because we may have to take some words out. So Seattle criminal defense lawyer and Seattle criminal defense attorney both are getting the smiley faces, and that's about it. There's some times where you'll get 1 smiley face for the phrase density, and you'll get like a red face for the aggregate density. And if you get a red face for the aggregate density, that just means that you either over optimize or under optimize, but sometimes it's just not possible to get 2 smiley faces. But you always want to get get a smiley face for the phrase density right here. So basically that's how you use the relevance calculator. It's pretty simple. It took me about, oh God, because the guy who explained it to me didn't explain it right until I met the new client. He explained it right, but it took me like 3 months to get this system going, but the way the new guy explained it to me was so much easier. So if you have any questions about this, let me know, and I just wanted to share this video with you so you can do this with your clients as well, and for yourself. So when you optimize it, the SEO guy, he's a little cocky, but he knows his stuff. Anywho, I will talk to you later.